How's it going, everybody? Gonna be checking out this FMV game because it was last week and I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's right. I wanted to finally play it because apparently, based on the gameplay I've seen, it's the same developers as Telling Lies, so it's gonna be a lot of searching up words and everything. So it should be a interesting game to play this evening, which more than likely I should be able to get it done with it during the stream. So let's get going on it. I hope you all had a great weekend, because yesterday I went to my nephew's birthday party. So that's loud, so I gotta adjust that. As well as I gotta change this. Her story. Transition. As it's logging real quick. Because that's Xbox for you. There we go. I was gonna say, gonna start her story. But I guess it's set in the 90s, apparently. So. I know I gotta adjust the audio for sure. Do that way. There we go. There we go. Where's my audio at? Do I really have no audio options in this? Because that's annoying. I'd have to do the Windows mixer to do that. I'll set it to 35 for now. And the very first thing we get is murder, so let's see. What is this? Oh, no QN history, okay. Database. Let's just add stuff. Oh, that's nice that you can actually add, because this, in Telling Lies, you could not add to queue. It just gave all of the stuff that you could individually play, so that's nice. And they give the icon of whether you haven't seen it, I'm guessing, so. Play.
You think it's murder?
You think it's murder?
I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
11 seconds. Is there any intro thing or blank? Is there any, doesn't look like anything's different. We'll just play it. I thought I was gonna go through them each, because
Yeah.
then why have...
That's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Simon's murder, okay. What's the point of the clips stored in user's session? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm glad the icons say whether I've seen the clips or not, so.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Of course we do. That's what they all say. I just want to make sure. Okay, good. The achievements are all good. A lot of secret achievements, apparently.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please.
Only now.
You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Lovely. Video subtitles, anti-glare filter. Thank you very much. I'll take that. I don't need the glare. Because I know it's like if you wanted it so that it was Backbone, blah blah blah. Retrieve clip, type in a word. Yeah. Let's do help. Dun. Okay. Play.
So, it was Friday evening.
Okay.
We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show.
Oh boy.
So Eric was ringing
Didn't show.
I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Okay. Next up.
Sure. Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there.
Okay.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. It helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Interesting.
Diana's really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Okay.
When you've been married for 10 years, stuff accumulates. We could argue about anything. And he's so nice. That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive-aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything.
We would argue about anything. February, why not? Say what? Oh, I didn't spell it right. That's why. Oh. February. There we go.
Well, I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something, that's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet. But I really can't remember back to February.
Okay. Ticket. It honestly would probably save me time adding to session than playing instead of doing that.
He has a wallet, a huge, silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Okay.
Well, I remember the ticket, of course. I paid it without telling Simon. Didn't want to get told off. And they put points on the licence.
Okay.
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
Actually, I've been looking at the, let me look. Oh
He has
wow,
a
this
wallet,
is all different
a
dates,
huge
that's why.
silly thing,
Okay.
leather.
It's all different dates. Okay. Simon. Oh my god, is it seriously a lot, or is it? First 5 entries, yeah, I'm sure.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
Really beautiful things.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Okay.
It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock.
The Rock.
It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Okay.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
Save the princess.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy.
Of course not.
Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
I don't know, what can we do next other than let's search Friday.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
Okay. How about the next day then?
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And I... Excuse me. Is there a bin?
Damn. I had a vomit for some reason.
It was late. Early Saturday morning.
And of course they gave her a water.
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Okay. Next we got Eric. Possession.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch, it's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him, it's not in the house.
Okay.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Ah, interesting.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Of course he did.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane. Oh, lovely. Who is Diane?
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Okay.
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Master Chef, have you ever eaten fennel? Nice.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know.
I don't know.
You should ask Diane.
Oh, always gotta ask Diane. Okay. Eric, Simon.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Okay. Add session.
Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor.
Doug
and then I decided to come and see you. Is that enough?
Oh, is this a missing case? Is that what this is? Fell to freedom information. No one touched them. Enough. Okay. What is in the rubbish bin? I wonder. Lovely. Crack with glass. Probably gotta do that later.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer.
It's the same
I
thing.
took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Even though, oh boy, I wonder if it sounds suspicious because she literally said nearly word for word exactly what she said before. As if she purposely she made her own script. That's so stupid to do it like that.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
Yeah, I'm guessing she probably went for a missing person thing and they had to interview her repeatedly.
No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone Simon knew from the Rock.
Okay. Parents. Lots of parents.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Okay.
No. I lost the baby.
Aww.
I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
A miscarriage has gotta suck.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
It sucks. How's it going, Macabre? How are you doing this evening? I'm just playing Her Story. That's an FMV game, so
Yes.
we're
I
interviewing
inherited
her.
it from my parents, so it
so-
made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
But as far as I can tell for the story, it seems like she did report her husband or boyfriend to be missing because he never came home after going to a bar, and so we're looking at terms and whatnot of various video clips recorded of her, what she has to tell the police and whatnot, whether she's a suspect or whatever of the guy being missing. So yeah, because I play the devs other game, Telling Lies, and it was definitely intriguing. So this is also on Game Pass as well as that game, so I figured get the achievements for the evening, because it shouldn't take that long to get the entire game done. But since we were told about her baby, let's search up pregnant. That is the correct spelling. Because I screwed up February earlier. But it's the 90s, so.
I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant.
Oh wow, this was before me.
This morning sickness.
Yeah, that's the thing. We saw the video of her going to vomit, and I thought something was up, but no, she was just pregnant. At the time, and then, but of course she lost the baby from a miscarriage.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
I told him. At least you told him, unlike some people that like to hide it until like weeks to go by to just make sure.
It's Rapunzel.
Rapunzel?
The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
What was the point of that? Rapunzel's story, apparently that's an achievement. It's a happy ending. 50G. What's this?
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out.
Why are you driving without a license? Like, okay.
The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Like, the least ever happened to me was I went, I think, 2 weeks back when I was doing learner's permit and everything, and I completely was unaware that the actual learner's permit paper wasn't in my wallet for 2 weeks. But it was fine because I saw it on my desk. I'm like, okay, put it in my wallet. That was literally surprising when I saw that. Rapunzel. Lots of stuff.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
What is the picture? Is what I question.
Did I pass?
Did I
Sorry,
pass?
let's start with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again? Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic.
Oh, sure.
There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Oh, sure. Ain't that convenient that you have dolls in the house?
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Yep. Okay, next we got birthday. Okay.
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that.
Birthday, birthday, birthday.
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
You guess or you didn't?
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday. Then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. It turned into a big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
That's a completely different story of what you said before. This was back in June 25th, and that one was... Oh, is that the next year? Or no, it's the same year. It's 2 days later, so why'd you change your story? The fact of, oh, I don't think you liked how I thought about the gift. They had an argument, so...
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about our argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Of course he does.
There's no couple stuff. A stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to.
Okay.
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Well, some days maybe they're not wanting to be like that.
He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Alright. Lawyer.
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you. Yes, I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
Why not? Pretty confident to not need a lawyer.
Yes, no lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for?
Oh wait, it's always best to have a lawyer no matter what anyway. Job.
Yeah? You was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Okay.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure.
Pressure. Totally.
And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Plus he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books.
Okay.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile.
Oh, really?
Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then...
Oh, Lily. Okay. Hannah, since they were talking about Hannah.
My name is Hannah.
Oh, she's Hannah.
H-A-N-N-A-H.
Okay.
It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea.
Okay.
Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Why was she? I don't know. She was talking about herself in the third person.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Talking to yourself about in the third person much? Or Simon. Did you forget there's a camera running?
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Okay.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead.
So...
But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
So, split personality, or are we talking about two different people?
Mm. She recognised me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
I'm definitely curious, is this split personality or is this a twin?
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin.
Yeah, it definitely must be split personality.
After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Until Simon.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon.
So
She
smitten.
started getting jealous. Didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went. Kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
From that one time. Cop car.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognised me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. we agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Okay. That was a lot of words. Let's check out their diary.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess.
Of
When I found her diary, I
always gotta be
also
broken.
found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Okay.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Okay.
Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
That was a lot. Let's go to kids.
Well, there you go. How many kids?
How many kids?
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid, and she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
But only sometimes. And now we got Eve.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We were made up afterwards. It was a love-hate relationship.
That's called toxic.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve, so my parents let me off.
That's just rude.
My mother called me Eve.
So, got Hannah and Eve. Okay.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. My mum was amazed.
Totally. Okay, are they twins? Is that what it is then?
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
That. Okay then.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
So is it split personality or a twin?
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion. There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had pride of place. So bad. We felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
I'm sure. Okay, Glazier, since they weren't there.
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Okay.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaziers. No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a Glazier, he doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know.
Lovely. Bruise.
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. I mean, it hurt like hell.
Sure.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
You found a body? What body?
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull our Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. But she snuck frozen peas up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day, all our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Okay.
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I left.
And I left. Now let's do a photo.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not books so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Okay. Next we got baby.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
I'm sure.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff. That's when I called the police.
Okay.
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Wasn't really ready. Lottie.
His body didn't look real.
Oh, so they found him dead?
His throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses.
Okay.
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, 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 the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the wind. Oh. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Okay.
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused.
My body
I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? Felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
I don't know why we had to worry about cops.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
So special.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember, well, I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
That was quick. Crazy.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
Excellent question.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
Okay, so.
She'd only meant to scare him off.
Wow. Just admitted that Hannah literally killed him. Wow. Just admitted it.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him. I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to sketch all these characters. And Van was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough.
Oh, okay, that's what...
We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
A moth they were trying to kill, that's what it was, okay. Car.
I got in the car and I drove. And just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
Totally.
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
I'm sure. Okay. Mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think.
Yeah, where's the mirror?
I haven't looked at it since.
Where's the mirror at?
Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Okay. Now we got the reflection.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. She was me.
Yeah.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. We just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
So is it actually split personality then? Because why would it talk like that then?
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Okay.
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one, to my rightful place.
Okay. Now we got Glasgow finally.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I passed. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
Headed back.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Ever so conveniently, it was deserted. Miscarriage.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. I thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
I don't get what the point is. A lot of fucks are given.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
No, I'm okay. Oh, that was coffee.
No, I'm okay. Fuck. Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off. Open this door.
Shit.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
Okay. A cup.
Could I have a cup of tea?
Nope, you got a cup of coffee.
A cup of tea would be good, thanks. Just 1 sugar.
Cup of coffee.
Maybe a fresh cup of tea?
And she was thirsty. That's for sure.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is. Just the 1 sugar. Thanks. Is that camera recording?
You only just noticed the camera?
Black, no sugar. Thanks. Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Milk and sugar.
About 8 years back. It was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
Not like it matters.
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Isn't that the same day? Okay. Why would she say that then?
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Sure it is. It's a snake and an apple. Expressing my individuality.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money.
I don't exist. Lovely.
He saw me singing one of my shows, who he was, by the likeness. I enjoyed talking after all this time. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
A dream. Okay. Let's do a dream.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? I thought then. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Okay. Sing.
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing in the bar again, and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already been romantic.
He asked me to kiss him. Lovely. Blondie.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Okay.
You want me to play something?
Oh, please don't.
And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop. Another dreadful wind and rain.
Yeah, I'm good. The wind and the rain. I don't need to hear music coming out of her mouth, so.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door. No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze.
50% of database access. Nice. Detective Sergeant. Doll houses.
Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind
Sure it is.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Okay. Oh, it is houses and not house.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
Sure you do.
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week. but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front.
That's a long clip.
1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Yeah, I can imagine. Definitely bodies just dying in a house is definitely gonna smell, so.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Okay then.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Okay. Carl.
No, I was 15. Carl was older, 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Family.
Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Okay. Now we got points.
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
Okay. A date.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. And worse, obviously, it's going to be a cremation. So,
funeral.
yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight.
And then blood. Oh boy.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Lovely.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before.
Of course it hasn't.
The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood.
Yep.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
Oh, you wonder why when you get all that blood everywhere. A wig.
A wig? You mean... what type of wig?
Yeah. Oh, hot wig.
No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
Oh yeah, totally. Because once you know that, then you got her.
Yes. I thought about telling Hannah. It was almost like it was a different Simon. But...
Oh, they kissed. Ah, lovely.
after the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house. To our parents' house. To their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he won. I almost burst out laughing.
So funny.
A long time.
A long time.
We got married when I was 17.
Why? That's ridiculous.
Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective?
That's just ridiculous. 17.
No. No, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring.
Okay. Dead.
That's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on. Our baby.
Oh! She miscarried after the death? Okay.
You're reaching here. Oh, I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this rehearsed?
Yep.
You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
It's true. She rehearsed questions much. Literally. A lie.
Yes. I'll take a lie detector test.
Okay.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work? My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
Okay. Yes. Okay, apparently. Oh, okay. Yeah, quotations.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Something's yes.
Yes.
No.
No. No. No. No.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yes.
Name.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah.
Oh wow, we got 400 camera score already.
Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Of course you didn't.
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
While what was the name? But mother.
Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out.
Okay.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story?
Not really.
It's a real life fairy tale.
Okay. Rules.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. Identity. Dead, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. I don't know.
Questioning pictures.
It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. I hadn't been before.
Okay. Life.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private? Are you married? How is your sex life? So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
Probably. Death.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too.
Okay.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still... But he used to take us picking with him, and they never even looked in the attic.
Sure, they didn't. Cellar.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check it up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was.
Okay.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other, my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Okay. Sister.
When she went home, Sam had a birthday tea waiting. Look on his face. She knew that instant. He didn't know she had. She knew. She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. She called me sister on the phone.
Okay.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
What makes you say that? Happy.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. Just the two of us.
Okay.
Good. Happy. I mean, ups and downs like any couple, I guess, but we've been married for over 10 years.
Of course. Oh, it was right.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something.
Whatever. Puppy and an affair.
An affair? Simon wasn't having an affair.
Are you so sure of that?
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
Okay.
No. I mean, everyone loves Simon. He was so nice to everyone. He loves me.
He loves me not.
Cute. He must love them very much. What ages are they?
Okay, and then police.
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but...
Clothes.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it. By hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror. And he gave it to me.
Okay. Camera.
Is that camera recording?
Yeah. CX.
No! You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
Husband.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting, ready to hear from you, hear from my husband.
Okay.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
That's better.
She's crying, I guess. It wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Okay then. 75% of database accessed.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I knew it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now.
Now he's dead. Hurt.
Suicide? No. I mean, he would never do anything like that. He is not the kind of person to do anything like that. I mean, to hurt himself? No.
I'm guessing that it was I don't know whether they're saying whether it was a missing persons case turned to murder or what, whether it's saying that the situation was a suicide from her perspective.
I mean, I don't know. Something must have happened to him on his way home. Could be hurt. I mean, why hasn't he phoned? I don't know.
Yeah, it was a missing person case first that turned into murder.
Hurt someone? Yes. But everyone thinks that from time to time, right? You just want to lash out.
Okay, sad.
Well, she has a knife. But she's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends.
Not sure how it ends.
Simon's parents offered to put me out, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. I'm staying at a friend's.
Sad food.
No, not drugs. I mean, he drinks, but never very much. He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but no, he doesn't have any kind of drinking problem.
Okay.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty.
Work.
No. I'm not sure what strange would be, but he hasn't been acting odd. He's been busy at work, but nothing too stressful.
Okay, Oxford.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford.
Okay.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
Sure you did. This is why you have a lawyer. Literally.
No, it's okay. The other detective has just gone to get me one. Must think it's very cool that their dad is a police detective.
Throat.
On his throat. How?
How?
I wouldn't say that. It could be passionate. It's just, it was more than that. It wasn't just sex like I had been with the other boys.
Okay, innocent. Oh, can't wait for this response.
I could take this stuff off now. Did I prove I'm innocent?
I was hoping it would have been like, oh, I'm innocent.
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on. We got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
Okay. Cheated.
No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon.
Sure you haven't.
Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale.
I really wish that this game didn't have so much improv in it, because that's what it's driving off of, is just improv.
I sleep on the right side of the bed as you come in from the door.
Of course you do.
You can tell because I have 2 pillows and he just has 1.
Congrats. Okay. Room.
In the bedroom?
Almost done. Almost done.
That can't be right. In the bedroom?
That can't be right. Something was in the bedroom.
What kind of hairs?
We found something in the bedroom.
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you?
Okay.
If you put me on You've Been Framed, I want the money.
Okay, killed. I thought I already did killed, but apparently not.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital.
And in hospital.
Ask the hospital.
Of course. Suspect.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
No, you were the primary suspect.
Okay. That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in 2 places at once. This is the 3rd day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions. About me. Should I be worried?
I don't know, you're the one that
Am I a
didn't.
suspect?
You're the one that doesn't want a lawyer, so what do you expect?
Okay. I'll try my best to remember.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm quite a private person and I didn't want to get into the detail of the argument.
Of course not. Why would you?
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast.
Okay.
This is a nicer room. Is this where you take people when it's time to arrest them? Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Oh boy. That's why I was saying split personality much.
Yes. I always pull it shut and then lock the bigger lock with the key.
Of course you do.
No, I don't think it was. I turned the key but it was already unlocked.
Okay. Hey.
It's like I told you before, I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Okay. Bar.
No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. Why not them?
Anyone?
God, I don't know. Could be anyone. Maybe someone followed him back from the pub. But why would he let them in? Doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. An intruder.
God, it's pretty sad if you have to count.
I don't know if anyone really changes. You just become more yourself.
Dun, 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 dun.
Simon was very moral about that sort of thing. He wouldn't just walk out there and sleep with anyone.
He took his marriage seriously, sure.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
Sure.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. Happy for us both.
Okay. Fingerprint.
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven. Fingerprints.
Fingerprints? Question mark?
Yes. Yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. With the fingerprints in all those places.
Well, yeah, it's kind of how fingerprints work. If they're fresh enough.
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible?
Trying to deflect.
Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match. Fucking idiot.
Wait.
Then she told me she wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me.
Garden.
We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes.
Okay. That's garden for you. Weird.
Okay. Sounds weird. I'm not great at making up stories.
I don't know, you made pretty much a lot of stories up.
Yeah, I had to let myself in. The door locks if it swings too.
Special. Oh, did it crash? Of course it did. What else is new?
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It's a special. Where did you find it?
Where'd you find it? In his throat. That's where.
No, Simon wasn't seeing another woman.
As far as you know. Yeah, I say us a lot.
What about us?
Black.
Oh, tastes fine to me. As long as it's black and strong, I'm good.
Lovely. Guitar. Oh god.
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very tone deaf. Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Okay. 9.
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
And you got any proof of that?
I wasn't in the house.
Sure you weren't. Children.
Do you have children?
At least that was short.
Fairy tales. I'd found it in those stories.
And hotel.
And the hotel said he was there?
Oh boy.
Yes. Like a story. A beginning, a middle, and an end.
Oh, database accessed. All games have winners and losers. Oh, what do I need now? Lucky dip. Lovely. Oh, chit chat. You done? No. I'll be buzz when you're ready. Yes. So you think you understand why your mother did what she did? Let's see what happens. Sarah's logged up across the road. Well, I got 3 achievements remaining. So. Database unlocked. Okay. Admin. Random. Lucky dip.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
What else we got? Yeah, not all games have winners. Try to get a drawn score. What does that even mean? Let me. What the fuck, dude? I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. I'm just doing every single one. Player 2 wins. Let me look really quick on the things. Dun, dun, dun. Just following a video guide to get this. it was definitely an entertaining thing. I'll have to look at a video completely to see what happens though with the rough thing. It's not like I fully understand it. Obviously, people that fully understand the story know it better though. Uh, okay. So many choices. Come on. Almost done. Come on. And almost done. A draw! Nice. Thanks. Yeah, it was definitely a thank you, because I think that 100% did it correct. Yep. So yeah, I'll just have to watch a video or something that, like, I just to like make sure that it's how the game was and everything, so yeah, it was fun. I knew it wouldn't take more than one session to get through the game. I knew it wasn't gonna take long. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't have to look into figuring out the fucking list like I did for telling lies. It took me running through on a separate time, read the whole list, only to find out it was one video I completely skipped out on. So Which I honestly don't even get why in that game they even had the queue system when you couldn't. There was no like play all the clips and all that stuff at all. So I don't know. I can only think they had that so that if you needed to make sure that you've seen stuff and everything, then you could add it to keep track. But that was about it. But it was definitely entertaining for sure. And tomorrow I'll be playing some South Park, so I look forward to that. And I will see you all next time. Bye for now.